Thunder Pacers NBA Finals being dubbed the Paul George Bowl, with PG trades helping both teams assemble key parts of their current rosters, including all three of the All-NBA selections in this series. PG started his career with the Pacers before being traded to OKC in 2017 for Domantas Sabonis and Victor Oladipo. Pacers went on to flip Sabonis for Hallie. PG went on to have two of the best years of his career in OKC, finishing the 2018-19 season third in both MVP and Defensive Player of the Year voting, while securing his only first-team All-NBA selection in his career. So before being a part of another blockbuster trade to the Clippers with OKC landing SGA, Jalen Williams, and some other things that are still going on to this day in the deal. But my question for y'all is, does Paul George deserve a championship ring from whichever team wins the finals?
If you want to be an asshole,
Right.
you send him one.
This because of you, sir. You get him one, but in all sincerity, is it wild to think that both these teams now that are currently in the NBA Finals were based off the strength of building their roster by trading Paul George?
That's crazy.
Building a roster or just a key player?
That's building a roster.
Well, the Thunder situation, it was a lot.
Yeah, that's all him right there.
A lot of picks, a lot of.
Damn.
Well, I mean, that just says a lot about that, the talent that he was. That he was that valuable to keep getting moved for these certain pieces. That's all it really says. There's guys out there that had names and they got traded for nothing. Right? At least these trades turned into something.
Yeah.
You never know what it's going to become.
Yeah.
They drafted these kids for a reason, and it just so happened that it's working out into these organizations' favor, right? They're asking for the right pieces in these trades, and cause they could ask anybody back.
The right pieces.
Right? They're asking for the right pieces, and it's working out for them. So
Think about it.
Yeah,
Think about fact. Yeah. Tyrese and
De'Aaron Fox backcourt. And many people thought that was a win-win trade at the time. Obviously,
Right.
the Kings have gone on to break their playoff drought, but I think Haliburton has more wins
think about that.
with the Pacers than the Kings have in the last.
Who's their
20-something
point
years.
guard now?
Monk. I think they went with Monk at the point.
This nigga said Monk. No, it ain't. Is it Monk?
Yeah. Yes, Monk.
they don't want. They want
DeMar.
to play different.
And
Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine at the one.
They want to play different. They want the ball to move. They don't want a traditional guy at that spot. They want the ball to. They
Go
want
to probably Sabonis.
Sabonis to be the facilitator, right? So that's why they did.
Trying to
that.
follow the Jokic.
Yeah, that's what they
Because
did.
he can pass the ball, throw that bitch into him, and let him find everybody.
But PG, man, it's just the day and age of social media, man, and media. Everybody got a voice. That people are. Yeah, I'm saying the Paul George Bowl thing, like shit like that.
Paul George Bowl.
It's funny, but it's sports, it's business, and it's working out for these teams, man, these organizations. So
we asked the chat if Paul George deserved the championship ring from whoever wins the final. 73% of the chat says no. Chad, you're some haters today. But let's shift it to the Thunder side. Got to give Sam Presti a ton of love. He's the architect of the OKC teams from the KD Russ era to the present. Got to start with the Sonics even before the move to Oklahoma City. So Presti's been at the helm for the last 18 years. Now seen 3 players win MVP on his watch. Not to mention former Six-Man of the Year winner under Presti's leadership, James Harden, who also went on to win the MVP with the Rockets. So after the KD and Russ era was over, Presti landed Paul George, then flipped him to the Clippers for this haul. Let's just take a look as a reminder of what it was.
Just say Paul George.
this haul.
And at that time, SGA wasn't the player he is now. Obviously, was showing a lot of promise, but
And this crazy. This year they ain't got no pick. Next year,
God.
but you see what it is. SGA 4 first-round picks, 2 pick swaps. Obviously, one of those draft picks became All-NBA, All-Defensive Player Jalen Williams. So does Sam Presti get enough credit for his player and roster development in OKC? Has some tough times, made some tough moves, trading away
Yeah, man.
franchise hallmarks.
You can see he's a real basketball brain, right? I mean, if you swap him out and put somebody else there,
yeah,
they wouldn't be smart enough to see what they need, right? Some people just have an eye for talent, right? Spurs, Pop and them, they had an eye for what they were looking for that fit with, Tim Duncan. You got, them over OKC. Whoever made the picks for Golden State when Steph, Clay, Draymond, that group.
Bob Myers.
Oh, yeah,
That's
Bob. That's
right? You know what I mean? He had an eye, Because in reality, there was probably one pick that was just off, but it was a right pick.
At the time.
It was a right pick at the time. It just didn't pan out for your style, and that was Wiseman. Other than that, the picks that they picked was good picks.
Shit, we all thought it was a good pick, though.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Young,
Big,
athletic, big that they needed because Draymond was who he was. He's a lob threat. So we all thought that's what but it's just the wrong person.
Yeah,
That's all.
Probably
Just
just
shit.
didn't.
Right attributes,
Yeah.
wrong ticker.
But why was it the wrong person? That's what I be.
Wrong ticker.
If your offense is created around, remember he comes from Arizona,
Play, right?
right?
Ooh.
Arizona
Wiseman, yeah.
is guard heavy. Arizona, big man didn't worth shit,
Come on,
right? So that's the offense he had, right? He has the Wildcat offense.
Wiseman?
No, Steve Kerr.
Oh, Steve Kerr.
So if you look at all the big men that went there,
Yeah.
right, y'all are just tools to this guard offense, right? So, I don't think anything was implemented for him to be what he was. So it was probably easier to knock his confidence and, from there, just if he wasn't mentally ready to be strong.
He wasn't.
So Sam Presti did win Executive of the Year this season for the first time.
The first?
For the
First time in his career.
When?
This season.
That's some hating shit.
Crazy, yeah.
There's a lot of haters among
They didn't give it to him when the second MVP won?
Right?
Nigga, you own something.
Yeah, he drafted James, too. James counts.
You get
James counts on his watch.
Yeah.
He drafted him.
But
only Lakers, right? Only the Lakers organization and probably old Boston
Yeah.
where you have
Multiple MVPs.
old
Multiple MVPs.
multiple MVPs on the same team that's in the same. They got drafted.
But yeah, no, it ain't happening.
Is he the only one?
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
3, 4. So he's done drafted 4 MVPs.
Yes. Well, traded for one.
Traded for
Traded for one. Yeah.
I'm saying one of them they probably wanted to draft.
But the
Shai.
one-
wanted to draft Shai and didn't have the pick at the time, and the Clippers fucking picked him.
Yeah.
And you know how that shit go? Hey man, this kid, Shai gives out. Hey, we need to. Hey, the Clippers pick him.
Yeah.
Trade's about to happen. He's available. They like, hey, this kid out of Shai? Hey, what y'all? Hey, got our guy now.
Yeah, so you got Lakers, Spurs, and then probably they're first now. Probably.
So let's shift it over to the Pacers side real quick. Pacers rolled through the Eastern Conference as the 4 seed, defeating the Bucks.